Painful sex is something that a lot of women struggle with, disproportionately so because we don't find a lot of men struggling with it. So, in today's video, I want to talk to you about how to overcome painful sex. And I want to share a story with you, a story of a woman who went through the Wanting It More program and did the steps I'm going to outline today, and now is enjoying penetration when she wants it. So that's what we're going to do. Before we do, my name is Janna Denton-Howes. I am a sex coach for women married to men who don't want or enjoy sex very much. And no surprise there, if you have pain, you don't usually look forward to it very much. So there was a woman that I know really well, and let's call her Sue, because why not? And Sue had experienced um, pain during penetrative sex ever since she was sexually active. So, right from the time of her first boyfriend, she experienced this discomfort. And she went ahead and tried to get support, get treatment for it. Doctors and creams and pelvic floor therapy and dilators, and I think she even saw a therapist, and nothing was working. And this is so common. This is a story that I hear again and again from the participants of the Wanting It More program. Lots of medical interventions. Now, my disclaimer here is definitely go get things checked out. Why wouldn't you? Of course you should. But a word of caution is that um, a lot of these medical professionals really have such a narrow understanding of why pain is there in the first place. And absolutely can be physical causes, but I want to share with you the things that I'm seeing helping women who have tried all of those things and been very unsuccessful with them. So Sue joined the Wanting More program, and she started to learn more about how women's bodies function. And two really critical things happened during her time in the program. And I have seen these two things be really the key to stopping painful sex. The first one is trying to uncover where you are feeling shame when it comes to the sexual experience. Is it around a religious upbringing and feeling like it's not spiritual, God doesn't want you to do it, it's dirty, it's wrong? That might have happened if you've gone through a chastity experience or the purity movement, perhaps, and you've been told like don't do it, don't enjoy it, not spiritual, and then suddenly you're married and things have to work and be great. It might be around childhood messaging. It might be around some secret that you're holding on to. Now, for Sue, that was the case. She had had this sexual secret, and that's as far as I can share. But this secret that she told me initially, and I encouraged her to tell her husband. When she told it to me, it really wasn't a big deal at all. It was actually just kind of normal functioning, and it wasn't so scary. But when you're holding on to something and you're keeping it quiet and you're not telling anybody about it, oh good, Cassandra, I'm so glad, then it becomes so big. And she did go ahead and tell her husband, and it was received very positively and with a lot of compassion, and kind of the same way I felt like, oh, that's totally not a big deal. And even if things do feel like a big deal, even if you are holding on to something, maybe you had some abuse happen to you when you were a child, or a negative experience with previous partners, or date rape. I mean, there's so many things that can happen to us women. Even if it does feel big, telling somebody that you trust is a phenomenal path to healing. I also heard of another woman who I was talking to her, we're talking about painful sex and how she overcame it. Same thing. She had never talked to her mother about sex before and felt a lot of shame around that. And she had a conversation with her mom, and wouldn't you know, the pain disappeared. So, well, over understanding and identifying where the shame might be and then overcoming it might feel like a daunting task. At least you know where to start. At least you have a path forward. How do you overcome this shame? You'll probably know right away where it's coming from, or whether it's from those background or from just feeling of your body or somebody you need to talk to, something you need to share with somebody else. You'll probably know right away. If you don't, just a simple journal excellent exercise of where am I feeling shame question mark, and just waiting for the answer to come and then taking steps to eliminate that. The other critical factor in overcoming painful sex is permission to never have penetration again. For Sue, this was a critical component for her. When women come into the Wanting It More program and they share that they have painful sex, I just say, well, you're just not gonna experience pain anymore. You got to stop harming your body in that way and doing things just because culture tells you that that's the acceptable way to have sex. When did sex become synonymous with penetrative intercourse? That's just absolutely ridiculous. So when Sue had that permission from me and also from herself to never have penetrative sex again, and for her to also at the same time have a fulfilling, delightful, satisfying sex life, you've got hands, you've got mouth, you've got, I mean, he's got hands, he's got a mouth, but that'd be really hard to do on himself. There's so many options. Furthermore, sex is about connection. It's about mutual pleasure. It's about coming together and having that intimate intimacy heartbeat in your relationship. And it should never, ever, ever include pain. Ever. So once she was able to give herself that permission, once she was able to just kind of say it out loud and feel really confident and courageous in that and having a voice, then wouldn't you know, she was able to have penetrative sex. And not that it was the pinnacle of success for her, it was just one other option in many, many options of a satisfying, fulfilling sexual experience. So, the two things I really want you to look at if you are experiencing painful intercourse is number one, where are you experiencing shame around the sexual experience? The body wants to protect. If the body is not feeling open and able to be vulnerable in this really intimate experience, it will shut down, it will close up, it will tighten, it will expel. The body is really good at this, and we want to honor that and listen to it. So, number one, where are you experiencing shame? And what are some steps that you can take towards eliminating that shame? Do you need to uncover the truth about how your religion actually feels about beautiful, sacred intimacy? Whether that's reading some good books or talking to a clergy member. Do you need to have a conversation with somebody? Is that your husband? Is that with a good friend? Is it with um, your mother, perhaps? Do you have something that you're holding on to that you need to let go of, that you need to tell somebody that you trust? Shame loves secrecy. It can delight and grow and thrive in that environment. And we want you to bring it out into the light. And so it can stop the growth of that shame because it's not helpful for your physical or emotional, spiritual pleasure in the sexual experience. And then the second step is really just allowing yourself the permission to just never have pain again. Never, never, never. And once you allow that, once you accept that, and you're not pushing yourself and wondering what's wrong and why am I broken and why can't I work and going to doctor appointment after doctor appointment and therapy after therapy and dilators and creams. And again, I am not saying you shouldn't do that, but I'm saying when the focus is solely on physical fixing, then you're always going to see your body is broken when it is not. Your body is capable of tremendous amounts of pleasure. I hope that was helpful to give you just a real some simple steps, not easy, but some simple steps forward and an alternative to the medical approach to healing from painful penetration. I will see you in next video. Bye.